I hope I don't go 1000 during the course of this video. Well, you're just gonna have to watch to find out. Welcome to the 365 vlog. Let's go. So hello people, today is October 9, 2016, day 284 of the 365 vlog, and I'm gonna talk about Mob Psycho. So I did a thing over the weekend. I watched Mob Psycho 100 as recommended by Jesse because he was like, yo, check it out. It's a really great show. And at first, to be honest, I really was a judge the book by its cover kind of person because I really didn't like the art style. But as I got into it, I really fell in love with the show. So basically what this show is about there are a bunch of people who are psychics and they're ghosts and they exorcise them, and Mob is someone who is just a very strong exorcist, and he has this dude, Reagan is his name? I can't remember right now, but he works for him and they exercise ghosts together, and he has to like manage his emotions because if he doesn't, he'll reach 100 or even 1000 or even other things I don't even understand that will just make him like lose control of all of his powers. So that alone is a very interesting premise about how the author went around to like writing about like Mob Psycho, because it's very different in contrast to One Punch Man, someone who has so much power that he can't really control it and really has no ramifications for not being able to control it, as Mob is more someone who's reserved and doesn't really want to use his full power until it comes time for him to actually use it on those that he wants to protect. Even though his master told him that he shouldn't use his powers like that, I found that to be very interesting and also very limiting to him, because he also doesn't want to be trapped and bound by this amazing power that he has laying dormant in him, which is very interesting because I feel like it's really demonic and crazy. And if any time he gets really angry or ticked, he'll just like gain a percent or gain like percents, and he'll hit 100 and he'll just overflow with power. But it was even crazy. There was one moment where he just went full question mark, and that was way too much power, and it did like some godly like stuff, and it was just really interesting. But overall, I liked a lot of the characters in the show. They're really goofy, they're really wacky. I like Dimples. Can't remember other people's names right now, but they were very interesting, especially when they went to go fight the organization, which was also really a big joke when they actually got to fighting them, but they got to the end, and I think it was Reagan. I'm gonna say Reagan. Correct me if I'm wrong in the comment section. I'm kind of like fuzzy on the show. But he was really cool because he got Mob's powers, and he just went OD, and then there was another kid who had like red hair, and he was just like really swag. But I wonder what it's gonna be like when they do the second season. They better do the second season because I'm really curious to see what this organization's all about, because they're the ones who are trying to capture all the strongest espers and put them together for some reason because they want to start a war. Some shit. Basic premise, but it's interesting as it ties back into Mob. Which I still wonder why his name is Mob, because that's not really his mob. He's just named, he's called Mob. And oh, it was also really cool because another part of this series really kind of reminded me of Akira, with the two brothers and one of them getting power and really getting like really power hungry after getting his power. It just had a lot of like jumps backs to that. That's what it reminded me of. And I think the animation throughout the whole series was really good, especially with the action scenes. It was very colorful, it was very movementy, that's a word, I meant to say fluid. And that fluidity just came really nicely in the battle scenes, and the over character like emotion. I think it was written well. Maybe I'm not really a writer like that, but I really think it was interesting and it was appealing, and each episode left me wanting to go into the next episode, especially watching it as a bunch. I think watching it week to week is really hard. Maybe not really hard, but it's just, it sucked me a lot more in than other shows can do in like 12 episodes. So I really hope it gets another 12 episodes because it was really, really good. I think if you can get past the first like couple of episodes, maybe even the first episode, you really get into it. People say like you should watch after like episode 4, I think, or 5. It's definitely true. The show picks up a lot more and gets a lot more interesting, and I think the fights are a lot more interesting in the characters. But one thing I should also note is that Mob himself is actually a lot more interesting than One Punch, or like, I forget what his name is, but One Punch Man, because I feel like he has more emotion, and I feel like also in general the story of Mob Psycho versus One Punch Man, Mob Psycho is a lot more developed and a lot more interesting than One Punch Man. I feel like at least in Mob there's some tension, or there's like he might actually lose, or he might not actually be the greatest, or he can actually be hurt or have some type of defect that doesn't make him perfect, and just like we're just waiting to see how the fight ends in One Punch Man with just one punch, which really isn't that interesting at the end of the day. But yeah, guys, that's pretty much all I have for you today in my review of One Punch Man. I definitely give it like a solid maybe 8.5 out of 10. I don't know what scale I'm going to be using, but yeah, 8.5 out of 10 seems pretty good. And if you like what you saw, don't hesitate to subscribe for more. So tell me, guys, what did you think of Mob Psycho in the comment section down below? I'd love to hear what you have to say about it, because if you don't, I'm going to go 1000 or triple question mark. Or is it quad question mark? I don't know. But yeah, guys, I'm Vandal, the Freak to Keep It 365, and I'll talk to you next time with another video. Peace, boy.